Overweight and obesity not only increase the risk of developing cancer, but also worsen outcomes after diagnosis. Excess body fat changes how the body responds to treatment, how cancer behaves, and how the immune system functions. Obesity creates a chronic, inflammatory state that feeds cancer growth, reduces treatment effectiveness, and increases complications during recovery. It is not merely a passive accumulation of weight. It is an active biological condition that alters the terrain of the entire body, influencing how cancer cells interact with hormones, glucose, and immune defenses. When the body carries excess fat, especially visceral fat around the abdomen, it secretes inflammatory molecules like tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF alpha, interleukin 6, IL 6, and leptin, substances that can accelerate tumor progression. These chemical messengers distort normal cell communication, turning what should be temporary immune responses into chronic, harmful inflammation. This state weakens the immune system's ability to recognize and destroy abnormal cells. In cancer patients, such inflammation can make chemotherapy less effective and increase the likelihood of recurrence even after treatment. Additionally, insulin resistance, common in obesity, fuels tumor growth by providing excess glucose and growth signals that cancer cells exploit to multiply rapidly. Beyond the molecular level, obesity complicates cancer treatment in practical, medical ways. Higher body fat alters drug metabolism and distribution, meaning chemotherapy doses may be less predictable and, sometimes, less effective. Radiation therapy can be technically more difficult when there is excess tissue surrounding the target area. Surgical recovery is also slower, with greater risks of infection, poor wound healing, and cardiovascular complications. These challenges don't arise solely from cancer itself. They stem from how obesity reshapes metabolism, inflammation, and immune resilience long before diagnosis. Yet, the hopeful message in this warning is that even modest, consistent lifestyle changes can dramatically shift outcomes. The body's biochemistry is remarkably responsive to improved nutrition, movement, and hydration. Weight loss, even a reduction of 5 to 10% of total body weight, can improve hormone balance, lower inflammation, and restore immune function. Patients who maintain a healthy weight before, during, and after cancer treatment often experience better energy levels, fewer side effects, and improved survival rates. A well-nourished body is more resilient to stress, heals faster, and responds more effectively to medical therapy. A key step in this process is adopting a diet centered on whole, plant-based foods. These foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, supply antioxidants, fiber, and phytonutrients that work together to neutralize oxidative stress and support detoxification pathways. They also promote a healthy gut microbiome, which strengthens immune defenses and reduces inflammation. The fiber in these foods stabilizes blood sugar, helps regulate appetite, and facilitates the elimination of excess estrogen and other toxins that can influence cancer progression. A plate filled with colorful plants sends the body a powerful message: repair, balance, and renewal. Portion control plays an equally vital role. Overeating, even with healthy foods, can overload metabolism and prevent weight loss. Practicing mindful eating, slowing down, savoring flavors, and paying attention to hunger cues helps restore natural appetite regulation. It's not about strict dieting or deprivation. It's about recognizing when nourishment becomes excess. Smaller, balanced meals spaced evenly through the day maintain stable energy and hormone levels, reducing the stress that drives overeating. Hydration is another underrated but essential part of cancer prevention and recovery. Water supports every metabolic function, including digestion, detoxification, and immune cell activity. Dehydration, even mild, can increase fatigue, reduce kidney function, and slow recovery after treatments. Aim for water-rich foods as well. Soups, fruits, and vegetables all contribute to fluid intake while delivering vitamins and minerals. Herbal teas infused with ginger, mint, or lemon can also support hydration while providing gentle anti-inflammatory benefits. Replacing processed and animal-heavy meals with plant-based options has broad and measurable effects. For example, swapping a lunch of red meat and refined grains for a meal of lentil stew with olive oil and vegetables can reduce saturated fat intake, increase fiber, and introduce dozens of plant compounds that protect DNA. Olive oil, avocados, and nuts offer healthy fats that stabilize lipid balance and reduce inflammation without contributing to excessive calorie overload. These small but consistent substitutions create a metabolic environment where healing and cellular stability are favored over disease. Movement, too, amplifies the power of nutrition. Exercise enhances insulin sensitivity, reduces body fat, and strengthens the immune system. For cancer survivors and those undergoing treatment, gentle, consistent movement such as walking, swimming, yoga, or light strength training can improve treatment tolerance and recovery. Regular activity improves circulation, helping nutrients and oxygen reach tissues more efficiently. It also aids in lymphatic drainage, which assists the body in clearing out waste and toxins, an essential function when dealing with cancer therapies. Sleep and stress management are equally critical in maintaining a healthy weight and supporting immunity. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, a hormone that increases fat storage and suppresses immune function. Incorporating mindfulness practices such as deep breathing, meditation, or time in nature helps lower cortisol levels and reduce emotional eating. Sleep, often undervalued, is when the body performs its deepest repair work. A consistent sleep routine, 7 to 8 hours nightly, improves hormonal regulation and immune function, two pillars of cancer resilience. It's important to recognize that improving cancer outcomes isn't about rapid, drastic changes, but about cultivating balance over time. Sustainable health comes from daily habits that nourish rather than deprive. For someone recovering from or living with cancer, focusing on the quality of food rather than strict calorie counting can make the process more achievable and emotionally supportive. Choosing foods close to their natural state, steamed vegetables, whole grains, fresh fruits, legumes, and plant-based fats, creates harmony in the body and a biochemical environment that opposes cancer growth. The warning is clear. Excess weight does not only affect appearance or comfort, it profoundly shapes cancer's trajectory. But the body's resilience should never be underestimated. When given the right fuel, hydration, and rest, it begins to correct imbalances naturally. Immune cells regain their vigilance, inflammation recedes, and treatment efficacy improves. Every plant-based meal, every glass of water, every moment of movement helps shift the internal chemistry toward recovery rather than relapse. The path to better cancer outcomes is not defined solely by medicine, but by daily choices that strengthen the body's natural intelligence. A balanced, plant-rich diet, mindful eating, hydration, regular activity, and adequate rest together form a lifestyle of defense and renewal. These choices are not small. They are cumulative acts of healing that change how the body faces disease. Obesity may worsen cancer's course, but the power to reverse that influence lies within reach, meal by meal, step by step, and day by day.